Hello student. Today our learning objective is a molecular technique, that is Southern blotting. A Southern blotting, it is also known as Southern hybridization technique. It is totally based on restriction digestion. Restriction digestion means fragmentation of genomic DNA or plasmid DNA with the help of a particular restriction enzyme on the basis of recognition site present on that DNA strand. Then the major principle of this Southern blotting is hybridization. Mainly there are two major principles of Southern blotting. First is restriction digestion and second is hybridization. If anybody asks what is the principle of this Southern blotting, then we can say isolation and purification of genomic or plasmid DNA. Restriction digestion, agarose electrophoresis, denaturation in a weak alkali. Alkali means 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Electroporation and baking at 80 degrees Celsius, followed by hybridization with the probes, that is radio level or fluorescent level, and then autoradiography. So these are the principle of Southern blotting, but major two principle of Southern blotting is restriction digestion just after isolation and purification, followed by hybridization with fluorescent probes or radio level probes. If anybody asks what is the working principle, working of Southern blotting, means first you have to isolate and purify the genomic DNA or plasmid DNA that is present in bacteria or in any eukaryotic cell. Then after purification we proceed for restriction digestion, that is fragmentation of the genomic DNA or plasmid DNA with the help of restriction enzyme. After restriction digestion we proceed for agarose electrophoresis. In agarose electrophoresis, fragmented DNA is going to separate on the basis of size. A smaller fragment DNA, it will move faster from cathode to anode, and larger size DNA, it will move slowly from cathode to anode. After completion of agarose electrophoresis for the separation of different size of DNA, we denature the DNA. Denaturation means breakdown of hydrogen bond of the fragmented double-stranded DNA. We proceed this denaturation after putting the agarose in 0.1 normal NaOH solution. After denaturation we proceed for transferring the DNA from agarose to nitrocellulose membrane through process of capillary action in the buffer solution, that is inside the buffer tank, along with paper towel, or just to proceed the process of transferring the DNA from agarose to nitrocellulose membrane in presence of electric current through apparatus. That is process is known as electroporation. Next, after transferring the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellular membrane, we fix the DNA, transferred DNA present on nitrocellulose membrane through baking. Baking means fixation of DNA on nitrocellulose membrane at 80 degrees Celsius for 2 seconds to 2 minutes as per requirements. After fixation of DNA on nitrocellulose membrane, we put the nitrocellulose membrane inside the buffer where there is hybridization of that unknown DNA sample with known probes. So this is the major steps of the southern blotting or southern hybridization. That is, there is a hybridization between unknown DNA sample and known probes. You know probes? It is a known sequence of DNA, that is fluorescent level or radio level. So with the help of the probe, we can able to find the sequence at nucleotide level of unknown DNA sample. After hybridization, we remove the unhybridized DNA probes with washing buffer, and then we develop autoradiogram through autoradiography that we develop on X-ray film. So this is the complete procedure of this hybridization techniques. If we see, I have already discussed this procedure, and it was discovered by Edward Southern in 1975. So this is the simplest technique for finding the sequence of DNA at nucleotide level with the help of probe after restriction digestion with restriction enzyme. So the simplest way for this procedure of southern blotting, that is, after purification, isolation and purification of DNA, we cut the genomic DNA or plasmid DNA with restriction enzyme, and then we separate the DNA on the basis of size in electrophoresis. After separation, we denature the DNA in alkaline solution, that is NaOH solution, and then we transfer this denatured single stranded DNA from agarose gel to a blotting paper, that is nitrocellulose membrane. And when there is a transfer of DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane, then we fix with a process, that is baking at 80 degrees Celsius. And then after fixation, we hybridize the DNA that is present on nitrocellulose membrane with the help of fluorescent probes or radio level probes. So this is the overall procedure regarding southern blotting. After hybridization with the probes, we develop autoradiogram through autoradiography on X-ray film. So next, the simplest illustration of this southern blotting, that is you can say cellular DNA, that is genomic DNA. We can isolate the genomic DNA and then we separate in different size with the help of restriction enzyme. So if we see in the diagram, we can observe a different size fragmented DNA due to presence of recognition site of particular restriction enzyme on the stretch of that DNA. And then we separate again with the help of agarose gel electrophoresis through applying electric current in electrophoresis buffer. So inside the agarose gel, there is separation of DNA. The DNA, it will move from cathode, that is negative, to a anode, that is positive. So we get a different band of the DNA on the basis of size. The smallest size DNA, it will move toward anode fastly, and the larger size DNA, it will move toward anode slowly. After completion of agarose gel electrophoresis, we take out the agarose gel from the electrophoresis tank, and then we put on the other tank that contain the buffer solution. That is, the tray contain the buffer solution, just to transfer the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. It is written here in the diagram, the membrane filter paper, that is nitrocellulose membrane. Just above the gel there is a membrane filter, and then we put a paper towel, and then we put some weight just to proceed the capillary action. You know capillary action? If you take a glass of water and you touch a paper strip, automatically water will move from the water level in the glass to upward direction through the paper strip. The same procedure it is going on here in case of this process, that is electroporation. Through capillary action, it is the slow process for transferring the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane, but through electroporation apparatus, we can proceed this process within a very short period of time after applying electric current. Now, after getting the DNA on this membrane filter or nitrocellulose membrane, we get the DNA when it can be moved. So just to avoid such type of movement, we can do the process of blotting. Means putting the nitrocellulose membrane at 80 degrees Celsius, that is baking. So through baking we can fix the DNA at 80 degrees Celsius for 2 seconds to 2 minutes, and then there is no movement of DNA on that nitrocellulose membrane. Now after baking at 80 degrees Celsius, we put this in hybridization buffer that contain the liquid buffer, where we put the probes. The probes, that is fluorescent level or radio level, I have already discussed. It will bind to the complementary DNA band present on this nitrocellulose membrane. Now if the probe will get complementary sequence, it will hybridize, otherwise it will not hybridize. So how can you observe whether the probe is hybridized or not? If we use the washing buffer, after using the washing buffer, remove the unhybridized probe. If you observe in UV light, it will flourish. The fluorescence indicates that the probe has been hybridized. And we can also develop autoradiogram. With the help of that, we can see the DNA band that has hybridized. So DNA fragment complementary to the probe are visible after autoradiography or chemiluminescence, means the fluorescent dye tagging. So due to presence of fluorescent dye tagging, we can observe the DNA band in the UV light. So in the UV light, either with the help of radioactive probes or with the help of fluorescent dye, we can observe, detect easily the hybridization process present on the nitrocellulose membrane. So this is the flow chart that clearly indicate the process of Southern blotting. Why we say Southern blotting? It is a DNA fingerprinting. A question come in our mind. Means with the help of probe, probe, it is a known sequence, and that is labeled with the fluorescent dye or radio labeled dye. So if the known sequence, it will bind with a non DNA sample. It means we can find the complementary sequence of that unknown DNA sample. Through this technique, we will able to know the sequence of unknown DNA sample. So thus we can say it is a method of DNA fingerprinting. Now, if you see a process of transferring the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. In this case, there is two processes. One in presence of electric field, or in the presence through the process of capillary action. So if you see the diagram of this chapter, of this illustrative diagram, you can observe there is a process, that is the simple process, that is the capillary action, through which we can also transfer the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. So this is the other flow chart of the Southern blotting. We have, if we take the restriction digested DNA, if we take the restriction digested DNA, we put the DNA sample in agarose gel, and then we separate the DNA. On the basis of size, we get the DNA band. So after separation of the DNA band of the restriction digested DNA, we transfer this DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. How it is possible? Without denaturation, it is not possible. Why? Why it is not possible without denaturation? Means a double-stranded DNA cannot transfer from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane due to presence of hydrogen bonding. But denaturation means breaking of hydrogen bonding. That's why we convert double-stranded DNA into two single-stranded DNA. Now it is feasible to transfer the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane through process of capillary action or through electroporation. When there is complete transfer of DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane, in that situation we discard the agarose gel and now we focus on nitrocellulose membrane. Now it may be possibility that DNA can be moved from one position to other position. So just to avoid such incidents, we can do the process of baking. Baking means heating of the nitrocellulose membrane, means fixation of DNA. So after baking, we proceed for hybridization. What you will do for this purpose, we put the nitrocellulose membrane, that is filter membrane, into the hybridization buffer tank, where there is a buffer solution, and this buffer solution, in presence of the fluorescent probe or radio level probes, we can hybridize with the DNA present on the nitrocellulose membrane. After incubation, we remove the unhybridized fluorescent probes or radio level probes. If the probes that is complementary, that have known sequence, if they will get the complementary sequence, in that situation only it will hybridize with unknown DNA samples. Otherwise, unhybridized probes, it will wash out with the help of washing buffer. And after removal of unhybridized probes, we proceed for development of autoradiograms. Or we can also observe the hybridized DNA bands, unknown DNA samples, that is hybridized with probes through autoradiography. It will flourish in the UV light due to presence of either chemiluminescent dye, fluorescent dye, or due to presence of radioactive elements. So this process, that is autoradiography, and we get the result of DNA band as a autoradiograms. So this is the complete procedure. I am going to talk about. This is the diagram of CBSE book of Government of India, that is Southern hybridization technique. And again there is a simple illustrated diagram where genomic DNA, we isolate it and we fragment it with the treatment of restriction enzyme. You can choose any restriction enzyme as per your choice, and then after restriction digestion we separate the DNA through agrosel electrophoresis, and DNA, it will move from cathode to anode. DNA, it will move from cathode to anode. When there is a complete separation of DNA in agrosel electrophoresis, again we denature. I already discussed, it will denature. Why? There is breaking of hydrogen bond, and due to breaking of hydrogen bond, a single double stranded DNA is converted to single stranded DNA. Otherwise DNA will not move from agrosel to nitrocellulose membrane. Now you can see a trough, that is a tank, a wick, where a buffer solution is there, and then we put on the support the agrosel, and then on the agrosel we put the nitrocellulose membrane. Just I am going to revise this topic because generally when you read this topic in biotechnology, a question will ask in 5 marks for complete explanation of Southern blotting. So here DNA, that is fragmented DNA present in agrosel, it is going to transfer to nitrocellulose membrane through any process, either capillary action. How it is possible? Due to putting of tissue paper and weight, and through the capillary action, the DNA, the single stranded form, it is going to transfer from agrosel to nitrocellulose membrane. When the DNA completely transferred to nitrocellulose membrane, then we discard the agrosel, and then we proceed for hybridization with probes. So after hybridization with the probes, we develop autoradiogram, the DNA bands. When if we observe in UV light the hybridized probes with unknown DNA sample, it will flourish. Why it will flourish? Due to presence of dye or radioactive element. Dye means fluorescent dye or radioactive elements that is tagged with these probes. Now, so you can also draw this Southern blotting hybridization techniques diagram for your exam purpose. You can, this is a simple list diagram for this examination purpose. So next, it is also a simplest diagram for sketching purpose. You can see this is the isolated purified DNA. This is one is the fragmented DNA. We fragment with any restriction enzyme as per our choice, and then we separate the DNA from cathode to anode on the basis of size. The fastest DNA fragment will move fastest that have lowest size in kilo base pair or base pair, and the DNA fragment that have highest larger in size, it will move slowly from cathode to anode. You know DNA is negatively charged due to presence of phosphate. So fragmented DNA fragment, it is separated on the basis of size from cathode to anode in presence of electric current. Now after fragmentation separation, we again denature the DNA. I have already discussed. After denaturation of DNA with alkali, again we transfer the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. You see, this is a very clear cut diagram, a glass support, and then filter paper wick, just to put the agarose gel to proceed the capillary action. So in the trough there is a buffer solution, then it is the glass supports, and then filter paper wick, and then you can observe the DNA fragment in agarose. Above the agarose gel we put the nitrocellulose membrane. Okay, now this nitrocellulose membrane just for taking or receiving the DNA that is coming from agarose. So absorbent tissue we put as a paper towel and then paper weight to proceed the fast activity of capillary action. Or in advanced form, electroporation technique, through in presence of electric field we can proceed the same process, that is transfer of DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. So you have to explain properly in the examination purpose, exam written purpose point of view. You have to write properly the steps, the principle, and then after transferring the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane, we denature the DNA with the alkali, and then we hybridize with the probes, and after hybridization with probes we remove the unhybridized probes and we develop the autoradiographs through X-ray autoradiography with the help of X-ray film. Why we observe the DNA band in UV light? Because the probe it will bind with unknown DNA sample, because the probe is have complementary to unknown DNA sample. What complementary? The nucleotide it will pair. So through the pairing of the unknown DNA sample with the probes, we will able to find the sequence of unknown DNA samples, because probe have already known sequence. So this is the complete story about this southern blotting or southern hybridization. So this is also simplest illustrative diagram. Simpler, the isolation of genomic DNA, fragmentation restriction enzyme, separation of DNA on the basis of size, that is base pair, and then denaturation with NaOH solution, so that the double stranded DNA becomes single strand, and then we again transfer the DNA from cellulose membrane, nitrocellulose membrane to agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane. After transferring the DNA from agarose gel to nitrocellulose membrane, we fix the DNA with backing at 80 degrees Celsius for 2 seconds to 2 minutes. After fixation, again we proceed for hybridization. I have already discussed there is two major process, two major event that is essential for southern hybridization, that is restriction digestion of the genomic DNA or plasmid DNA with restriction enzyme, and second important, that is hybridization with probe. Without these two process, it is not a proper explanation of the southern blotting. So after hybridization with the probes, with the known probes, that is radio level or fluorescent level, we develop autoradiogram with the help of X-ray film. So this is the complete flow chart of southern blotting, that is southern blotting. Next question that is coming in our mind, that what is RFLP? Before starting the RFLP, try to know what we have learned. We have learned what is southern blotting, what is southern hybridization technique, who has given the southern hybridization techniques, and what is the principle of southern hybridization, southern blotting. Both are same. And what is the working of southern hybridization? Try to know the main working or main principle, that is isolation and purification of genomic DNA, then separation through agarose gel electrophoresis, then the denaturation with alkali, then electroporation, that is transferring the DNA from agrogel to nitrocellulose membrane, then baking at 80 degrees Celsius, then hybridization with the known probes, that is fluorescent level, radio level, and then development of DNA band through autoradiography and development of autoradio. So this is the principle, and you can explain slowly and slowly the working of this southern blotting. Now we are going to switch on the what is RFLP. It is similar process just like southern blotting. What is happening here? The same process: isolation of genomic DNA, purification of the genomic DNA, and then restriction digestion by restriction enzyme of the genomic DNA, and again we get the different fragments of the DNA. We again we proceed for hybridization with hybridization probes, and then we develop the DNA band on X-ray film. So here in RFLP generally we are concerned with isolation, purification, and restriction digestion, and then separation of the fragmented DNA through agrogel electrophoresis. So this is the basic aim of RFLP: restriction, fragment, length, polymorphism. On the basis of matching of DNA band of two different individuals, we will able to find the similarity between two different individual or two different samples, whether the sample is of the parent and children. Parent means mother and father and children, or just to prove the convict or sample suspected person, that through matching of DNA bands. So this is the major principle is restriction digestion and agrogel electrophoresis. Next, I have already discussed restriction, fragment, length, polymorphism, and DNA from several individuals was cut with the restriction enzyme. This is the most important steps. Means you will proceed for digestion, fragmentation of DNA, genomic DNA with restriction enzyme, and then we separate the DNA band through agrogel electrophoresis. So this is complete procedures. Now you can take the two samples of DNA and we give the treatment with restriction enzyme. You get the fragment, number of fragment in individual 1 and number of fragment in individual 2. So in case of individual 2, you will find there is no cutting of restriction DNA with restriction enzyme at the other site, but in the individual 1 there is a cutting at two different positions. In one position there is no cutting because there may be chance of mutation at recognition site. So if there is any single point mutation, then the restriction enzyme will not able to cut the DNA fragment. So we observe the DNA pattern, it will be different. So on the basis of presence of recognition site, we can differentiate the number of fragment of two different individuals. So next, this is the diagram of CBSE textbook, that is related to RFLP, individual 1 and individual 2. You will find the different DNA band pattern due to different position of recognition sequence of particular restriction enzyme. I have already discussed the recognition sequence, that is the palindromic sequence. If you read the 5' phosphate to 3' end in both the strain, you will find the same reading. So due to different position of recognition sequence, you will get the different position. I am talking the different position means at different place in different individual, you will get the number of fragment and size of fragment, it will differ. So on that difference we can differentiate two different individual after restriction digestion of DNA with DNA of 2. So this is the best illustrative diagram of RFLP. Here there is a DNA binding pattern of mom and dad, and children 1, 2, 3 and 4. So mom DNA pattern is of different color and dad DNA banding pattern is of different colors. So and the child, the 50% DNA band match with the mom or mother, and 50% DNA band must match with father. If there is no matching, in that case we cannot say this is the biological father or biological mother. So you have to identify when a child born, they inherit the 23 chromosome from the mother and 23 chromosome from father. So if you give the treatment with restriction in of the genomic DNA, we observe the banding pattern, means children 1 and children 3 are the children of both mother and father, mom and dad, because the banding pattern is matching of the children 1 and children 2 with children 3 with dad and mom. But if you observe the banding pattern in case of child 2, there is no matching of the banding pattern of the mom. There is a child of mom but not dad. Why? Because DNA band of father is not matching with child. So that child is no dad is not a biological father, or that child is not a biological child of that dad. So we can say if you match the DNA band that have different color, one have one color, other have other color of the mom and dad, and the child have mixture of both father and mother. So if 50% DNA band is matching with father and 50% with mother, then we can say only this is the parent of that child, means father and mother. And the similar thing you can interpret with the help of this illustrative diagram. Child 4 is not the child of mom, not the child of mom or dad. Why? Because nothing DNA band is matching with this dad and mom. That's why you can predict, you can take this result in court also, just to prove the paternity, means actually that child have biological father or mother just for claim in the courts. So this is the actual illustrative diagram of RFLP. Now this is the application we can apply in just to find out the crime spot. If we get any sample, we amplify the DNA from the hair or from the nails of that the convict. We can amplify the DNA and match with the suspected person. If the DNA is matching, it means that person was responsible for that crime. So we can apply this in forensic science for study of the crime study, or we can also do the paternity proving. So this is the application of that. Now paternity proving means I have already discussed the father DNA pattern, mother DNA pattern, and there is two father. You can observe father 1 and father 2 and mother 1. So if DNA is matching, father 2 the DNA match with the child, it means father 2 is actual biological father, and the mother, you can see if it is matching, means the if it is 50% matching, the DNA band is 50% matching, then only we can say it is actual biological father or actual biological mother. DNA band means the line it is given in the DNA structure, DNA band that is in the diagrams. So just see the father 2, the matching, exactly matching of the child DNA band. So just see father 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4 band is matching. But if you compare with the father 1, nothing is going to match, only one band is matching. So I have already told that if 50% DNA band is matching, minimum 50%, only then we can say it is biological father or biological mother. Otherwise we cannot say it is a father or mother. So this is about a story about RFLP, restriction fragment length polymorphism. Means on the basis of DNA band we can analyze. So you know who is father of DNA DNA fingerprinting, Al Jeffrey. So he was given first time the DNA fingerprinting, DNA fingerprinting. So Al Jeffrey was the first scientist who had given DNA fingerprinting, and the who has discovered the Southern blotting, E.M. Southern. So in 1975 he has given a complete procedure principle of Southern blotting. So question generally ask what is Southern blotting or Southern hybridization, what is the principle and working of Southern hybridization, and what is application of Southern hybridization, means DNA fingerprinting, just to find out the unknown DNA sequence at nucleotide level. Again in the same way, RFLP, what is RFLP and what are application of RFLP? It is a similar process to Southern blotting, but we are going to focus mainly on restriction diation, agarose electrophoresis, and try to find the banding pattern through autoradiography after hybridization with the probes. So you can observe the similar process, but there is slightly difference, means we can analyze. Generally we can apply for paternity probing, then at the crime spot, just to find out the convicted person who was involved actually in that crime, with the help of taking any sample, the DNA sample of the hairs of the murdered, or a scratch of muscles present in the nail of the person who has already died. So after amplification of DNA, we will match the DNA band. So this is the complete story about Southern blotting and RFLP. Thank you and have a nice day.